Welcome back, everybody. Time now for EHOME vs GoDz, Game 1 of our 2-game series. We're here live on the Beyond the Summit stream. I am GoDz, bringing you the action here for tonight. We've got Dota 2 Asia Championship, a lot of good Dota action coming from the SEA and Chinese teams. And, well, to start things off here, well, after our first series, we've got EHOME vs GoDz. EHOME coached and kind of managed by the former EHOME coach as well as former DK coach, 7-1, who's really brought this team to fruition. He kind of picked out the talent to a large extent, decided which team he wants, and this is a guy with a lot of experience. Back with the old EHOME squad that dominated absolutely everyone. Well, we've seen big things come out of this guy. So definitely as some guy, if you told me he was putting together a team and coaching it, I would say I have full faith they're going to be a Tier 1 team. Even if you told me there's like some lesser known players. You've got Inflame, you've got DDC, I mean he's played on LGD, so he's got a lot of experience, and then you've got ZYF, who's a bit of a newcomer to the scene, but a very talented carry player. And I would say, look, I believe 7-1, his ability to scout out talent and just to coach a team, he can make this work. Similar story with someone like Mikasa, I feel like. What he did with Newbie at TI4, coaching them to victory, I feel like that's another case where you look at what CDEC are doing now, and CDEC are really performing to their full potential and improving constantly, and I feel a lot of that goes back to Mikasa's role as coach. So, we'll see how things go down here. GoDz going to be on the dire side, open things up with the newly popular Juggernaut, as well as the Witch Doctor to go with it. And on the Radiant side, it is going to be a Ember Spirit Skywrath Mage. Ember Spirit, the big pick coming out from the Chinese scene as of late. This has just been your bread and butter. Let's pick it any game we can. Run it mid, run it safe lane, run it wherever you want. The Viper ban does suggest they want to run it in the mid lane, since Viper, one of those heroes when it gets picked up, does prevent Ember Spirit kind of going mid against it. Also just a good hero to combine with a Juggernaut if you want to push down towers, take objectives with ease, and have the Viper with the mech and the front lines, the Juggernaut with the healing ward to keep everyone nice and healthy. So, we'll see how things go out. As some people are realizing in Twitch chat, there is no Dota TV audio. I do apologize, but the game was remade. So, they started the game, we're in the lobby. It looked like the GoDz captain DC'd, so I didn't realize he DC'd because it doesn't tell me. So, he didn't ban a second hero, and then there was a first pick Enchantress, and I'm like, hold on a second, this is fishy. So, you can only check to see DCs by popping open the chat. You see this chat here? You have to pop it open. So then I'm like, oh, he DC'd. Let's go find the remake. And by then, the remake had already started. DAC had started without Beyond the Summit, so there is not a Dota TV English commentary for you guys. So I do apologize. That's what happened. Blame me if you want, but that shit just went wrong. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. That's all I can say. But I told DAC, I said, hey, if this happens in future, please wait for us till we join the lobby. But there's a tight schedule, there's a lot of games going on, so it is hard to get everything underway. But right now, GoDz with a Witch Doctor Juggernaut pick, going to go into their third pick. Spirit Breaker does get banned, so we saw the Spirit Breaker ban last game, and it does get banned once more with the Wraith King. On the EHOME side, they ban the Faceless Void as well now as their fourth ban. And GoDz, we'll see what exactly they have in mind to complement this draft of theirs. It's pretty heal heavy. I'm surprised they didn't ban something like the Ancient Apparition with Witch Doctor and Juggernaut, Healing Ward, as well as Voodoo Restoration on their side. And they're going to go through into their extra time. Has someone DC? As soon as they get to the extra time, I'm like, do I need to check? Are we going to have a remake? Oh, alright. But no, GoDz, we're gonna see what they want to go for here. Haven't seen too much of this new team since they've got this new roster. Johnny only recently leaving Mineski. It was like a few days before when the tournament was announced, where Mineski were invited to play the qualifier, but they hadn't submitted a roster. So it was like, oh, are Mineski actually going to play? They haven't submitted a roster, and then it's suddenly like, oh, Johnny's actually not playing for them. He was on their team for some time. He left because of communication issues, and suddenly Mineski's like, oh, we got these new players. Easy peasy, we'll come in, and then, well, they got stomped, or at least on day one. I don't think they've won a game yet, unfortunately, but hey, that was day one. We saw even Big God, Burning, and Zhao 8's team have a rough day one where they went 2-4. We've seen a few teams who are meant to do well. CDEC started 0-2, and look where they are now. There's 7-3 after a 0-2 start against Tongfu, so definitely cannot judge too much by the way things started for some of these teams. And that's where I feel like Big God is a team, I would expect them to finish in the top 4, even with that bad day one. Like, they had a 0-2 loss to DK, which wasn't exactly good, but I still feel like they've just got so much potential. They could beat anyone in the tournament right now. Looking forward to see Big God versus EHOME. I don't think they've played each other yet. Was that one of the series that happened yesterday? EHOME They have not versed the big gods, I believe. Let me quickly check that one. I'd be curious to know if that did go down. No, there's been no big god versus EHOME. At least that's the way it looks. Yeah, no big god versus EHOME. That's a match I'm looking forward to. Big god versus EHOME, and then later today we have EHOME versus CDEC, which is the first and second place teams. So both those matches are exciting ones. CDEC versus EHOME to end things off today. I don't think the EHOME versus Big God match is today. I think that's later on in the tournament with next... Well, I wouldn't say next week. Like one of the 4th or 5th days, I believe it is. Let me have a quick look at some of this schedule. You can find all the schedule on the DAC website. I don't think next week's schedule is all entirely confirmed. There is some possibility of change and some tweaks here and there. So, I'm not entirely sure how much will actually change. Hopefully not too much, but it looks like EHOME vs Big God's not on my schedule. Okay, the match doesn't exist. No EHOME vs Big God. Okay, no, it's on the 13th. So it looks like the 13th at 5 PM is when EHOME vs Big God happens. But this game here, Invoker pick, and oh boy, we get a Phoenix. Kind of newish hero, hasn't really started to trend just yet. There's some people who think it's very viable, and some who are just like, it doesn't really do all too much. So, we'll see how things go down here. For those of you kind of confused in the chat, this EHOME team is the LV Gaming team that was playing in Las Vegas. This team went to D2L, won the championship there, beating VP Polo in the grand finals, beating teams like EG as well as CDEC. And, well, they're back in China now, training together and playing under the EHOME banner. That's the other cool thing. So, the EHOME brand returns, as it will be Inflame in the drafter's seat. He's going to pick up the Phoenix for his team. We've got DDC, we've got Ohio, we've got Yang, also known as ZYF, and then we've got Feng, or Mushi, everybody's favorite SCA mid player. And we'll see exactly how they look to do things here. ZYF and Mushi kind of switch off a bit with the carry and the mid roll. And there's that little bit of flexibility with the team. We'll see where Phoenix goes. This is a hero that can offlane, can also support. Terrorblade picked up by GoDz. So they pretty much reveal their 3 cores here, unless we see some kind of Juggernaut support, which is also possible. Just I don't feel this is exactly been the way most teams are running it. It's very reliant on ganks and getting something done, which a Witch Doctor isn't the best hero to kind of pair with that. So Terrorblade probably going to be your safe lane farmer. Invoker goes mid. Jug goes to the off lane. Could run some dual lanes if you're confident that you can keep the Terrorblade farming even with just one support. And EHOME going to pick up the Slark for themselves. Oh yeah. So I would expect to see Mushi on the Ember Spirit with ZYF on the Slark for the safe lane. We still need to see if Phoenix is going to be a Hyos here for the off lane or something that they put as the secondary support. An interesting little pick here. The attack speed slow not bad against the Terrorblade. Does help for sure. You have to look at the egg as well as something which... how easily can GoDz bring it down? I think Juggernaut... I want to say he can Blade Fury and attack the egg like he attacks towers. Like when you're Blade Furying as a Juggernaut, you can actually attack towers with right clicks while you're Blade Furying. You can basically attack magic, like you can attack structures. I'm not sure if that works with the egg. That's a mechanic I have not explored. I don't know how it would work. My guess is you could attack the egg while Blade Furying. I'm not 100% sure on that though. It's something which I'm sure there's somebody out there who could tell me, and do tweet at me at BTSGods. Let me know. Someone go test it. Make a little video for me because I want video proof. I don't trust you guys in the Twitch chat. Is what I'm saying. You guys most of the time are pretty reliable, but there's a few bad eggs in there. I'm pretty sure. So let me know. How does the Blade Fury Phoenix egg attack thing work? And we'll see what GoDz go for a last pick here. They need a support, which means well. If you're looking at Phoenix as a way of dealing with him, Silence would have been a great option. Last word, the mechanic, the way this works against the Phoenix dive is fantastic. Because you can dive, but you can't cancel the dive, basically. So, we'll see what's going to happen. As last pick for GoDz, some kind of a support to go with the Witch Doctor. Silence are just great in general. Good against Slark, I feel, and Ember Spirit as well. Global Silence. I mean, all these heroes just don't have fun versus Silence, and they go kind of greedy. They pick up the Enigma. It's going to be a greedy jungle Enigma, and Juggernaut will be completely on his own in the offlane, I can only imagine. So, does give some potential for EHOME to look to punish these lanes. Maybe they try to run a dual lane with Phoenix +1 at top. They could try lane it. they could do something to cause GoDz issues here. And I feel like when they see this Enigma, your gut reaction has got to be, let's get aggressive. Let's punish this. And the Phoenix is that flexi pick in that he can be offlane, can be support. And the Brood Band suggests that GoDz are maybe expecting a 4-position Phoenix or even a 5-position Phoenix. This hero as a support is pretty potent here. I like the way the Sunray works too, is scales well to the late game. Percent-based heal as well as nuke damage. So EHOME now going to last pick the Horn of Magnus. Ahio's Magnus, one of the best you can find in the Asian scene, and a hero he's very accomplished on. Probably going to be in that offlane. I wonder if he was going to... I don't feel like he's going to be alone up there. I feel like Inflame may join him for a little bit to try and slow down Johnny's farm, punish him a bit. We'll see exactly how they look to lane things here, but there's a lot of room. Other option is your tri-lane. You put Magnus in like the safe lane against the Juggernaut, tri-lane with the Slack up top. But we'll see what the plan's going to be here as the lanes unravel to us and the heroes and picks and whatnot go out. It is EHOME versus GoDz. EHOME undefeated in the Dota 2 Asia Championship so far. They are 6-0. As for GoDz, they are 2-2 with wins against CSW. So they beat Can't Say Whips, but they lost to IMG, Immortal Magneto Gaming. That was where IMG had their good day one. They were 4-2 game one. Unfortunately, day two started off with a 0-2 loss. But we'll see if they can turn things around after that 0-2 loss. IMG is one of those cool little teams. They came out of nowhere. They've actually taken games off top teams. I cast a game where they beat LGD in a BO1. So definitely a team to look out for. But right now, they're not playing in this series. It's EHOME versus GoDz. And GoDz 2-2 need to get some wins. EHOME, though, is just not the team that seems to be giving up many wins. They're going to lead the chart towards this top lane. Contesting runes against Magnus. I've seen this too many times. In a few of my pub games where you go to this top rune to contest it and a Radiant Magnus just comes out, skewers you onto the cliff, and end of your game. Oh my gosh. I can't draw on the map. It won't... Okay, I can draw on the mini-map. I can't draw on the main map. Oh my gosh, I can't draw on the map. This is the end of my Dota 2 casting career. I'm going to turn in early tonight, guys. I can't draw on the map. This is... We lost. I can draw on the mini-map at least. That's a relief. Oh, and my mini-map drawings... Normally I get my little, like, blurry mini-map drawings where if I try to draw lines, they're not clear. But, okay, I got better mini-map drawings, but no on-map drawings. I'll take the good with the bad, I guess. Bottom lane, Juggernaut. Boots first for him. This Skyrath Mage is going to be careful. The Blade Fury is there, and DDC should be first blood. Juggernaut in the offlane solo. There's no pounce. Bounty Rune gets taken by the Slack, but he can't help out DDC. Oh dear, he got a few right clicks in first. Meanwhile, top lane, it was Inflame. Whew, a lot of damage onto him, and Terrorblade with a reflection actually picks up the Bounty Rune for himself. So Phoenix even went for a dive there. It looks like he maybe just held onto the dive for a long time. Other option is the cast interrupted the dive. If you time the dive poorly, get hit by a cast as soon as you cast it, well, then you're looking at no dive for you. But Juggernaut in the offlane, already with Magic Stick, Claritying up, but he's got full mana, doesn't mind it being broken now, and he's going to try to keep this lane back as much as possible. Already getting a CS hero there. Lost his range creep first. So got that nice little block off where he could get the range creep killed, and it's going to force out pulls from DDC, who did give up that first blood. Enigma going into the jungle. So for GoDz to get first blood, they're running a greedy jungler. This is really nice for them. It will be a tough lane for Terrorblade up top, though. It is going to be the dual lane, the Magnus plus Phoenix pairing up together. As this is something designed to give Terrorblade a rough time, knowing that they're running that Enigma jungle. You want to run these kind of dual lanes to make sure... It's a 2v2, essentially. There is pulls available for Dave's Witch Doctor, but similar thing can happen from the EHOME side. They just need a Tango and 3, pull this over. Oh, my lines don't work, as I just said. I'm in the habit of drawing, and it won't let me draw. I just want to be an artist some days, guys. As Feng or Mushi going to be on the Ember Spirit. Maybe we'll introduce our teams. We didn't really get a chance to do so. We'll have a Ahio on the Magnus top lane with Inflamed Phoenix, up against the Terrorblade of Johnny and the Witch Doctor of Dave. Ling going to be on the jungle Enigma. Mid lane's going to be Feng or Mushi up against the KYXY Invoker. One of his best heroes, I gotta say. There was one time in some of the old Orange teams, when Mushi played mid, he would play it every time except when they went to Invoker. When they picked Invoker, it was like, okay, KYXY, you're going mid, and Mushi's going to go carry this game. Then they gradually kind of transitioned into a playstyle where KYXY would play mid anyways, and Mushi, everyone remembers the TI where he played like more heroes than any player throughout the tournament at TI3. He was such a versatile hero pool, but leading up to that, he was mostly actually playing mid himself. If you go back to like the TI2 orange team. But finally, the other hero is going to be Yang or ZYF on the Slark, DDC on the Skyreth Mage up against the WWK Juggernaut. So, we'll see how things match up. Mushi versus KYXY in the mid lane. It's been a while, I feel. I mean, these guys are meant to be teammates. They were teammates for the longest time, but this is two of the best, if not the actual two best SEA mid players going head to head. So, looking forward to see this matchup here. And it definitely is a matchup where both are going to get farmed. Probably not that potential for solo kills. It's not quite like the olden days of Queen of Pains versus Pucks and stuff, but Invoker versus Ember Spirit, an interesting one. KYXY and Mushi so far going toe-to-toe as far as CS. 11 CS to the 12 CS. Top lane, in flame. Maybe looking for a kill. No, just going to get some aggression here as he gets the Fire Spirits out, making it hard for Johnny to actually get any farm, and Johnny not going to be able to last hit too easily with this. Has the poor man's shield, no Quelling Blade, and things are going pretty well at the top lane. Terrorblade not getting too much farm, just the 9 CS to him as Magnus has 15. Enigma though, top CSer, although a lot of that is of course neutral creeps, has gone for the early point in Midnight Pulse to cut down these trees. Just give that slightly more efficient jungle patterns. As for the mid lane, Mushi, bottle on himself, he's hit level 4 now, has gone for the early point in Sleight of Fist. Maybe something you can use to dodge something like an EMP, and now KYXY getting aggressive. Mushi in trouble, the Cold Snap is there. Is this a kill? KYXY, he backs off, he hit the phase boots too. Maybe he's worried about the bottle regen, which I guess Mushi could have used to save his life. Top rune now. Mushi wants it, KYXY is going as well. All his spells on cooldown for 5 more seconds. Mushi has the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Here comes backup. Magnus, going to bottle it up. Actually, Mushi was the one who really wanted that. Surprised that Magnus is going to take it. KYXY, here comes Ling with a Midnight Pulse. Ohio standing inside of it, but the Phoenix now makes an appearance. KYXY going to go down. Phoenix gets the last hit. The cast onto 2 heroes. Terrorblade with a Metamorph now. Feng, Mushi on the run. It's 1 kill onto the Phoenix, and looking for the 2nd kill on the Ember Spirit. Terrorblade has no boots. Mushi just going to hide. I think you just want to run, Mushi. Trying to be fancy. Doesn't need to be fancy. But he's going to survive. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Juggernaut did end up dying to the Slark, it looks like. And Mushi finally decides it's safe to go out. Johnny wasn't chasing. I think he must have imagined Johnny had boots there. I guess Johnny has 290 movement speed to the Mushi 310. So yeah, no way Mushi would have gone down there, but somewhat worried regardless. Good trade for EHOME in the end of the day, though. 2 for 1 at the top rune, just losing their support Phoenix and getting the Invoker most importantly. KYXY contesting that room when he didn't have Tornado. He had the Cold Snap but didn't have Tornado, ended up being a bad decision for him, because EHOME brought Phoenix as well as Magnus to the party. The Enigma came in, but he doesn't really have the ability to fight that well. Top lane now. WTF. In trouble. The Shockwave is there, looking for a skewer. Nope, doesn't have it. Has mine in a second here. Bottling up here, and looks like Phoenix has 1 more Fire Spirit. May go for Dave here. Not going to hit him with a Fire Spirit. Looks like he's going to back off. It's bottom lane, though. Another kill on the Jug. ZYF and DDC pairing up perfectly to handle this Juggernaut at bottom lane. That's the 2nd kill in a row. They give him first blood just because they want a handicap. It's like, okay, we'll give you the kill, says Skyreth. And now I'm going to come back and beat you down in lane. That first blood just maybe making the Jug a bit cocky. Who knows what it is, but this lane is not working out well for him. As he's now 1 and 2. Has got level 4 in a bit. Has got 10, 11 CS, so at least he's got something out of the lane. But the kills for the Slark is always a concern. Treads, Orb of Venom, and that's where they've been getting the kills. Normally you see the Slark just go like brown boots, try and rush a Midas or something. But ZYF says, I want to fight. I want to get kills. I want to be a menacing Slark. And so far, he's applied a lot of pressure into this lane. Here comes top lane Ling. He's got Black Hole. Not to say he's going to be looking for it. Seems he just wants to go for the push here. And they get the Phoenix to start things off as Enigma rotates in. And Phoenix is caught a bit too far out of position there as mid lane. KYXY going to continue to do his thing. He's sitting on 32 CS to Mushi's 18. So with the phase boots, the Robe of the Magi, anything he can to get his damage up. Makes life hard here for Mushi. He does have his Fire Run out and will use as such. Leaves the Fire in it, will TP home, and Mushi gonna heal himself back up. Game 1 is, so far, 3 kills apiece, but farm advantage going GoDz's way. The Enigma in the jungle. Work on that fast mech, and he's not really been contested at all. Hitting level 7 now at 7 minutes in, so this is kind of fairly normal timing for that, but... Oh, well, bottom lane. Juggernaut, hello! This Juggernaut just can't keep himself alive in the lane. Unable to really hold his own too well here. See Phoenix now make himself known at mid, and Mushi is level 6, has got that potential long-range initiation, but with Tornado, with Cold Snap, this is not exactly easy for him. Mushi just using Searing Chains the last hit there as well. That really goes to show how much he's struggling as far as farm goes. Dragon at bottom, trying to get that level 6, so he's got Omni Slash coming into play now. And with the 8-minute rune coming up, Mushi wants to make a move towards it. But KYX will be there first at the top rune. Bottom rune being secured by Yang on the Slack. He's actually going for a bottle himself. Gets a DD rune as well. Jug has to be very careful. But now Mushi's Ember Spirit fairly quiet. Just the one assist when that top rune fight did happen. Something that you can do with the Phoenix is use these Fire Spirits to help go jungle. Bottom lane, Slack wants to go in, has the DD rune. He's just going to fight through the Blade Fury damage. Needs 2 more right clicks. Going to Shadow Dance for it. The Orb of Venom slow. Going to get the kill. Can't Omni Slash. I don't know if he had mana. Maybe the Essence Shift helping there, but the Shadow Dance meant he had no target to use it on. Unless he turned around and used it on like a creep wave or something, but that was never going to pan out too well for him, so... Nice bit of play there. The DD rune being used to great effect by ZYF on Slack. Gets the kill on the Juggernaut, and now here EHOME look to continue to be aggressive. Smoke towards the mid lane. They want KYXY's Invoker. Tough kill to get. They need to get the silence off before he tornadoes or anything like that. They do get it, and with the Phoenix slow, KYXY in trouble. TP support comes, but it's too late. The Omni Slash can be spread between all 3 heroes. 1 slash apiece. The perfect distribution going EHOME's way, and they'll take that. As we'll see, Juggernaut's TP not really being used to much at all. Enigma even TPing in for that one, and Juggernaut uses the Omni Slash, so that's now on cooldown for 2 minutes. Ahayo's getting a decent amount out of this top lane. Has Arcane Boots level 6. And he's not going to have an easy time defending the tier 1, but has got backup in the form of the Phoenix now, making himself available this top lane. Dust available as well, in case they needed it for that Invoker kill at mid, it looks like. And here we go top. Just keep the shockwaves up, and they just want to keep them off this tower as much as possible. It was KYXY up here as well. They really want this tower while they have got Metamorph. 4 heroes now coming in with the Enigma as well. Maybe just goes for a deny, but not going to be possible as Enigma gets the last hit. Bottom rune now, Juggernaut gets the illusion, and unfortunately for Slack, not going to get there in time. He'd love to have bottled that himself, but not possible. Mushi, Bracer, Phase Boots, Poor Man's Shield. He's, end of the day, he doesn't need to be dominating his lane or out farming the Invoker. He's actually on par as far as net worth goes. Ember Spirit much more of a... Well, I guess both... I guess Quaswick's Invoker is kind of similar in that they're both tempo controllers, but the Ember Spirit a bit more aggressive, has a bit more damage potential around the 10 to 15 minute mark. See Enigma now pick up his mech, and he's gonna... Hasn't used a black hole just yet. This is where I feel like Enigma's want to go for a smoke, which he's got, and just use a black hole even for a solo kill. If you find a core hero like a Magnus, a Ember Spirit, it's worth using that black hole, because he's had this black hole for a long time now. He's level 9. He's had it since like the 4 to 5 minute mark, so he could have used it once and it would already be back up. So even using it for a solo kill is still worthwhile. Problem is now he's down here at this bottom lane, and this ward spotted them out. Oh my gosh, Magnus solo kill with the RP top lane. Here we go, the smoke going to come now, and this ward, need to be careful, need to stay as far away from it as possible. It's actually spotting Ling right here. They know this Enigma's down bottom, they know this Witch Doctor's here. If they smoke, this is going to be seen, but it seems they just want to go for the tower defense of the bottom lane. With Slack poking and prodding around, has got the Midas, and he's trying to get his farm on. Has got level 10 now, and is going to head back towards that bottom lane as the Juggernaut will deny the tier 1 tower. Mushi at mid, hits level 9 now, has 3 points in the Searing Chains, has backup in the form of the Phoenix, who has hit level 6, has got the Phoenix Egg, the Supernova available. Ahayo, after that solo kill, now up to 1700 gold. Blink Dagger should be coming soon for him. This smoke, I feel, for GoDz needs to accomplish something. Black Hole just for a solo kill, anything. They're going to reveal it from the low ground. That's the Phoenix. He gets stunned up. He can still look to maybe dive out between these Malefice stuns. There's a Witch Doctor ultimate. The dive still there. Nope, not with the Black Hole. Mushi gets caught from the high ground as well. That's going to be 2. Nice smoke hole from Ling. That's going to get GoDz back on the board. They get a couple of kills. They get a little bit of a turnaround. 12 minutes in, they're going to try to bring down the tier 1 mid tower as well. And this is not an easy defend when you've just lost 2 heroes. Magnus, working on his blink, probably not going to look to come. Doesn't have an RP as well. And a pause going to come out now. EHOME, not sure what the issue is, if they're considering a play here, or if this is just a... I've got to imagine it's a technical issue. Pause is not to be used for strategizing, but we'll see. Yang, 1k gold, has a DD rune once more. These DD runes have been kind of a turning point for him, allowing him to get the jug kill early, and if he wants to maybe make his way towards the mid lane, could look for something in return here. But I think fighting into this is just not going to work. Johnny has got the Metamorph, Link's got the mech. You're fighting into a Quaswex Invoker who's got EMP ready. Even with Black Hole, Death Ward on cooldown, this is just not a fight to take. Because similarly, you've got no RP. Phoenix does have the egg for when he TPs, but the problem is now this tower's going down fast. You can't TP in everyone at once. You've got to TP 1 to the tier 2, 1 to the tier 1. And this tower is done for. You see the last hit get taken by the Jug, who does need the farm. He's 1 and 4. He's not exactly doing all too well currently. Actually find DDC, and with a Cold Snap Tornado, the EMP is there, and DDC gonna get picked off unless he can deny himself to neutrals. Not gonna happen. Enigma with the Midnight Pulse. Make sure they secure that kill, and now they make their way down bottom lane. The last tier 1 tower is down here, but this is something they may have not spotted yet. Ohio. Smoke, as well as Blink Dagger. He's got the RP ready. We'll see where he looks to make his move towards. Could be this more wherever he basically wants to move towards, wherever GoDz are grouped up at most. And it seems towards this mid lane is where they are. Ling is nearby, and KYXY Invoker is going to be careful at this mid lane. He needs to be on point with these tornado counter initiations. If there's something like an RP, he's going to be there. Bottom lane, the pounce is there. They get the insta silence as well. That's an easy, quick takedown on the Juggernaut. He just dies so fast with that DD rune on the Slark. Once again, ZYF, his Slark has been on point with the aggression. 13 minutes in. He's 6.7k net worth, well ahead of everyone else in the game. 2-0 and 3. Level 11 as well. And looking at some of these hero levels, EHOME doing pretty decently. They're up 1k XP total, and behind on farm though. This Jungle Enigma still, despite the fact it's Slark on number 1 of the net worth, it's kind of like a 4-core-ish lineup with, well, Enigma. I mean, Enigma's looking like one of their main carries right now, but it's the offlane Juggernaut, 3k net worth behind the Ohio offlane Magnus, but that's because Magnus just destroyed his lane. Solo killed the Terrorblade. Had the support of the Phoenix. Wasn't really a solo offlaner. He had the support and the dual lane presence of the Phoenix, which so far been a bit underwhelmed by the Phoenix pick. But I feel this is much more mid-game support. You want to use the Fire Spirits plus Supernova in tandem in these mid-game team fights. Around the Blink RP could be a way to play this. And Phoenix in the pit. Is he going to reveal this? It's awfully close. They're actually smoking into Roshan. They're going for a Rosh Sneak. This is not going to work. He goes in. Oh, it's bottom lane. The Jug again going to get found. Once more picked off. WWK just on the feed train. How are you going to lose most of his mana? That's problematic. He wants to blink RP. He's going to be forced to skew. He needs to bottle up. Then he can go back in. But it's the Enigma going in. Can they do it with the Phoenix? They're going to start right-clicking at Johnny and Enigma. They bring it down. No! Oh, Phoenix is dead, but here comes your Magnus with a blink RP, but there's not enough damage. This Terrorblade doing a lot with his right clicks with the Metamorph up. You cannot fight him. One more. They're going to follow him. He goes down to the Terrorblade. The right click follows him after the pounce. Both Slark and Phoenix dead. They get the Invoker. I guess the Juggernaut died to start off the fight. He's going to TP back down here, but GoDz can continue their aggression at the bottom lane. The tier 1 tower's there, ready for the taking. With Metamorph still up for a good 20-ish seconds, this is a fight they want to take. Black Hole's still available, and they know there's no RP and no Supernova. Phoenix can look to stall this using the Fire Spirits, but that's about as good as he can do. Everyone on the GoDz team lurking around here. And EHOME, they're 6-0, yet to pick up a loss here in the Asia qualifiers. Not looking all too fantastic, even with the 6 deaths on this Juggernaut. More than half of the EHOME kills have been on this fella. And that's ultimately why they're not actually ahead. They're up 10 kills to 8, but these kills are just on this Juggernaut time and time again, who's basically playing a Space Creator type role. I mean, kind of a euphemism for feeding right now when you say space created, but ultimately these kills haven't amounted to much. Possibly another one coming their way as, Skewer going to miss, but it's the Scarith ultimate finishing him off. Searing Chains on your Enigma does have a mech. Unfortunately, I think it was out of range of the Juggernaut. As we see the Midnight Pulse coming into play, and Ling in trouble, going to be forced to mech. Doesn't have mana for a Black Hole now. Gets taken out. Slark coming in from the sides, has a Blink Dagger, and with this, he's looking to continue his aggression. We'll see the Ghost Walk be used, and they have some Sentry Vision. Spot him for a second here. Mushi wants to go for this kill. And the Dark Pact as well being used, but not going to be in range for that damage, so 2-0 trade here. The chase is on. Johnny gets hit by a concussive shot. They're going to blink in the Slark now. No mana for a Sunder. Actually, does have it after the wand. Doesn't actually have vision. Thanks to the Shadow Dance. Shockwave. Ooh, it's going to be the Phoenix getting the kill. Fire Spirit's burn damage. Now going to earn himself back up, and the TP's in. Not really a position GoDz want to take another fight in. They seem to be getting picked off one by one. The Slark doing what Slarks do best. Take down the stragglers, get 1 or 2, and then back off. And Slark, he does pick up his first death in one of those previous fights, but he's still farming absolutely fantastic right now. And for EHOME, I gotta say, they've turned things around. When you look at this gold graph starting to bounce upwards, the XP I think is doing even better. Yeah, 5,000 XP. Everything is awesome for the EHOME squad right now. True to their name, they're starting to kind of find their footing here in their first match of day 2. That's the thing, you go 6-0 on day 1, but day 2 you kind of wake up, not feeling great, maybe feeling a bit groggy, didn't sleep well, who knows what's going to happen here. So, as it is right now, it's EHOME, for the most part, controlling things here. The ZYF Slark has been the big playmaker. You've got to give some credit to this guy. DDC's been on point with the silences. He's been the reason that Jug has died so many times. 7 deaths. Still over half of the deaths of this GoDz team. WWK is having a rough time, to say the least. He's going to go for that max healing ward Blade Fury. No stats build this time around. I think he realizes there's no chance for him to actually do any kind of a transition into a carry Juggernaut with how far behind he is. So he's going to go full utility. He'll have the max damage from the Blade Fury and also the max healing ward as early as possible. And probably just see some more team-oriented items, be it the drums, maybe a casual Yasha, Vlad's type items, anything that can just benefit the team as much as possible. Ahayo's now poised to the top lane, ready to strike. They've got no vision here. This is a dire observer. Ahayo's going to be careful. Has a blink out. The tornado not going to find him. Still is secure as well. It's top lane. Tier 1 tower taken by the Ember Spirit, and then he fire remnants out. Mushi with a nice little play there, getting the tower over Johnny's Terrorblade, despite the illusion being there. And KYXY, well, his team, the smoke transition up top didn't really amount to too much, and there's no Tier 1 tower to take here, so if they want to go for a push, they're going to push all the way out to the Tier 2, and by then EHOME can position themselves, be ready with a Blink RP, and look to take the fight. Mushi's already got a Battle Fury on his Ember Spirit. He's farming up this decent-sized Ancient stack with this as well. Not to mention, there's Empower. The Magnus Ember Spirit synergy is pretty fun to watch. It's a max Empower. He's actually got... I like this build. It's kind of like... You see something like the Ember Spirit Magnus or like the Void Magnus. Maxing the Empower before you get the max Skewer. Because the Skewer, you get some extra distance and damage, but you get... the utility of it's kind of the same at all levels. It seems like the second point is the value point. Like level 7... You can have the 2 Skewer, 4 Shockwave for a good amount of damage, but after that you want to start maxing this, the Empower, which he's done. He's even just gone for the 1 point in RP. It does get a 0.75 seconds more stun, but ultimately it's a bit of a jump in mana cost. It's deciding that there's 1 more point in Empower, bit more mana efficient spell, and just something that is going to allow Mushi to just keep his farm up is the way to go. I imagine this was an intentional choice. Sometimes you see players where it's like, oops, forgot to level up my ulti at 11, but I feel like this is a very intentional move from Ahayo. But Radiant... Well, Radiant have a ward here. This is a sentry for the Dire team. That's going to get taken out by the DDC sentry down. Invoker now. Orchid is up, and he's going to immediately Ghost Walk with this. So, has EMP ready, and we'll be looking to find a pick off somewhere on the map. It seems maybe Mushi is going to be the target at mid lane. That's a Dire Sentry Ward, so Mushi going to swing towards this top rune, and actually going to swing towards the Ancients. He wants to stack this and then get the rune. And right now the Dire Vision's just very lacking. They've got the 1 ward near the bottom river, but they do not see Mushi's movements around the map. Witch Doctor going to show himself, and uh-oh, march forward. They're going to go diving in with the Phoenix. Possible Orchid there. Now you can't get off the egg. That's the newly purchased Orchid. I don't think Inflame was ready for that one. He was hoping to get the Ember Spirit maybe, but he'll take the Phoenix kill. There's an ultimate orb up on ZYF's Slark now at bottom lane. He's really pushing the limits here at bottom and needs to be careful. There's a lot of heroes coming his way, and if they get the Orchid off and he doesn't Dark Pact in time, there we go. Omni Slash, Orchid, he's picked off. That's a big value kill going the way of GoDz as well. They may look to go into Roshan now. They can get some Eidolons from the Creep Wave. They've got the Healing Ward from the Juggernaut. And this may be a Roche timing for them. It is a bit of a risk against like a threat of a Magnus RP. Phoenix is back alive as well, but they could see multiple heroes up top. Mushi now, Mithril Hammer. Looks like he's going to be going for the BKB to help deal with that the Orchid potentially. I mean, the old school Ember Spirit build was very Desolator driven. I'm not sure if he'd consider going for the old school Desolator here, but no, he's going to pick up the Ogre Club and will be a BKB. Mid lane, Dabe. They get hit by some Phoenix nuke damage. The Fire Spirit dive as well as the egg. It's going to get him close to dying, but 100 HP, that's more than enough. And now Phoenix egg on cooldown. They are in the Roshan pit. Johnny, he's going to try tank with his illusion while he farms it, well, takes it down with his hero. Ling still has the mech available and will do that to help heal up the illusion a bit longer. The Midnight Pulse even being dropped. Not that it does damage to Roshan. I don't believe it does damage to Roshan. As Johnny now going to take the Aegis for himself. Easy pick off there. The Metamorph damage allowing him to bring that down with relative ease. KYXY once again on the move. Orchid available and Mushi can... Problem is with GoDz, it's like pushing into this Empower Ember Spirit is just a nightmare. Oh god, that's a glitchy camera. You follow the Ember Spirit when you slide a Fizz, it just bounces all around. Like a ping pong ball. And there we go, Juggernaut just going for these utility team items. Gets the drums for his team, realizing he's not offering much more than just whatever casual utility he can. Johnny has got the Manta Aegis now, but as I said, pushing into the Ember Spirit is just not an easy proposition. The Ember Spirit and Slack both out farming all the core heroes of GoDz by a pretty good margin right now. Unless Link can get a big black hole off, it's going to be difficult to take any kind of a fight here. The detection is going to be needed if they run into this KYXY Invoker. Fire Remnant forward. Not sure if they spotted that one. It's going to be Enigma. Link caught out here. Can't really turn for a black hole, gets silenced up, and it's going to be an easy pick off to start things off here. They also see a lot more heroes here in the mid lane. Mushi wants to go forward. Slark going to get the pounce, and WWK going to get RP'd. Can they bring him down during that? You betcha. Phoenix goes in with the egg, and well, now it's full retreat here. As Ember Spirit gets one, he's looking for more. Slider Fist going to be coming through soon. No, it's a Scarith ultimate. He's going to actually go for the ulti. Mushi backed off. He's looking somewhere else. It's the Link. Black hole. It gets interrupted. Nice interrupt from Mushi. Mushi's still alive. Not for much longer. The Invoker finally brings him down 30 HP. He burns down to the Phoenix, who ends up dying to the Johnny Terrorblade. Johnny still with Aegis in hand. Not sure if that was an intended pounce to the high ground. He was looking for Dave there, it looked like, on the Witch Doctor. And while he's not done, he's going to look to hunt him down from behind. Here comes Slack. 3 seconds to a blink. 2, 1. Let's go. Dark Pact, one right click, all the damage you need. Chases on for the Terrorblade. DDC going to get chased down by him. It's a messy, messy fight with a 4-for-1 trade happening. Buyback from the Enigma was used some time ago. And that's, well, a dieback from your Ling Enigma. That's a cause for concern if you're GoDz. His BKB, well, now nowhere in sight. Johnny's farm, though, he comes out on top of that fight. He doesn't die, similar to the Slark. Slark as well as Terrorblade, the two big winners. Terrorblade gets up there now, joins the kind of Ember Spirit club of farm, and he's got 3.5k gold. As for your Slark, Skadi complete. Another kind of 1k gold after this creep wave as well to go with that. And ZYF is just really hard to deal with now. He's got level 18 as well. He can just go into any fight kind of willy-nilly and not worry too much about his own safety. Especially if this is going to be a BKB. Throw some extra magic immunity and survivability there. WWK, I don't know if that's close. Alright, he'll survive. Just barely. Yang's damage, just not quite enough to bring him down during the Blade Fury. That poor man's shield damage block, apparently even 26 minutes in can helped things out a bit there. His mag is been one of the key instruments for EHOME so far. When you look at Mushi, considering he did not lane well, he got out CS pretty badly by KYXY. But now as things stand, Ember Spirit with the help of the Empower and just constant stacks is well overtaking the Invoker, who's kind of struggling behind on 8k net worth right now. And with Blink, 4-star, possible Refresher comes next. Maybe the BKB if you prioritize that. Over in the mid lane, Witch Doctor Dave would love to get something like an Acceptor for these fights. It's getting interrupted. There's so much cancel. The Skywrath silence, the Magnus, the Skewer, the RP, Ember Spirit getting these Searing Chains off from afar as well. And uh-oh, Ling, the damage not done just yet. Yang gonna find him, and nothing Enigma can do about that one. They also, they see one more. It's the Witch Doctor. They'll bring him back, screw him in. Nice play from Ahio there. Gets a second kill, and well, everyone continually empowered up. This is bonus damage, not just for the Ember Spirit with the Sleight of Fist, but Yang. ZYF has got a lot of extra damage and the cleave from the Empower. And once again, he has a DD rune, of course. Constantly with these DD runes. Top lane's going to be Mushi. Left a Fire Ring behind. He can defend and push things out here, and went for the Searing Chains. Invoker gets the TP out though, and this mid tier 2 with a DD Slark is not going to be standing for too much longer. They do lose the Aegis now. Mushi has come back mid lane though, so if there is a fight, they do have that. They are ready for this. Yang on the front lines. He's not going to be able to get Shadow Dance out of this one. Needs to be a bit careful. Is there enough damage? He's going to be able to Shadow Dance in a second. The Tornado kind of messes up the Omni Slash, and does Shadow Dance bottle up too, and he can just heal using the ultimate. Doesn't have to go through all these bottle charges, but he will because he finds a rune and he's ready to fight once more. Still have RP, and you look at GoDz, well, the Tornado will cool down for a bit longer. No Omni Slash. And it feels like EHOME, if they want to fight, they could, but hey, they're farming efficiently. They're close to a BKB on the Slark. They're getting a lot of items up all around the map, and the same cannot be said for GoDz, who Enigma has completely become stagnant. Not going to be looking to finish a BKB anytime soon. Witch Doctor is still trying to work on that Acceptor. Terrorblade, the only one who seems to be growing as far as items go, and that's going to happen. That's your carry. That's your typical place to be. But if you're at 30 minutes in playing like a 4 protect 1 and only that 1 is getting farmed, you're in a bad spot. Because for EHOME, they're getting farm on 3 to 4 heroes right now. Slark's still farming. Ember Spirit's getting stacks. He's now got a Crystallis. Even the supports and utility heroes are getting items. You've got a Yule Scepter on the Phoenix, which is a nice extra bit of disable or initiation, depending on how you use it. As far as Enigma not having a BKB, if you get your teammates trapped inside a black hole, you have got the Yule Scepter. Similarly for the Death Ward. If you throw your disables, like you initiate with a Searing Chains, you use an RP, and then the Death Ward comes, you need that kind of later disable, and that could come from the Yules. So holding on to a disable for the Death Ward or a black hole is definitely on the agenda for EHOME here. And so they pull ahead. They're up about 7,000 net worth, the experience even more, up to about 10,000. Mid tier 2 tower now, and it's going to be taken. Ember Spirit, Mushi, claiming that one. I'll take the tier 2, and I imagine back off. They haven't really got the best high ground siege. You don't really want to be pushing into stuff like Midnight Pulse from Enigma, but they are looking around, maybe thinking they can at least go for a high ground push off of a pickoff. Someone like a Slark can blink in, find a quick kill, has the BKB for safety, and can get out, but seems top lane is maybe... Oh no, just one Sleight of Fist and then immediate fire movement back, but Roshan's a long way off, so this is just going to be a high ground hill ward, it looks like, and get vision of the enemy Ancients and just all around this Roshan pit area. And for GoDz, as far as what they can do, it's becoming very little. Your Enigma is just hiding in trees right now up here, and he needs to be farming a BKB, it feels like. He may even decide at this point to go for a Blink Dagger instead. It's like 800 gold cheaper as far as he's already got the Ogre Club, only needs the 2.2k. Johnny at mid will Manta out of the silence. He's still alive for the time being. Gets a Sunder off on DDC. Here comes your Magnus swooping in, but doesn't have mana for the RP. The EMP causing him problems. Now we're going to see round 2 for the Phoenix. He brings down the healing wall, will then dive himself out of there. Ahio still trying to pull up. Now he's got the RP. Keep an eye on this Magnus. He's looking to go in. Could catch 3 or 4 if he gets the right timing for this one. Feng Mushi going to look to TP out with a BKB. He does so at about 50 HP. Phoenix going to go for the self-Yules, but he's got nothing left. They only lose 1 in the end, but that looked like EHOME could have lost a whole lot more. Ember with the BKB TP on 50 HP. Skywrath survives after getting sundered. and a fantastic EMP from your KYXY Invoker, crippling the Magnus. And just crippling the mana of a lot of this EHOME squad who couldn't continue to fight. And where was the Slark? He just wasn't really there, wasn't really able to fight too much. And Terrorblade damage output, you can see the potential there. Wasn't Metamorph used at the end of the day, so you're hoping to get maybe a bit more out of it when you go for that big Metamorph in. But they'll take the Phoenix kill, and clearly one fight for GoDz. I think they wanted to win it by more. They really wanted that Ember Spirit kill. If they'd gotten that, it would have been fantastic for them. We're going to be looking at a pretty fast Roshan respawn here. 27 seconds, and Mushi's Fire Remnant goes in. That'll spot it out as soon as it respawns. It will last the necessary duration with the 45-second duration on Ember Spirit's Fire Remnant. Bottom lane DDC. He's had a good game so far. 5-3 and 8 for him, and just overall helping that bottom lane Slark get so much farm this game. Slark is 18k net worth. Leading the charge here. Mushi does not want a BKB here. And it looks like he will be able to hold on to it. As he's going to go back in. One last slide of his Searing Chains. And doesn't he be careful? KYXY pushing the limits here. Well, more Mushi pushing the limits here as far as how much you can stay in this lane with very little HP. KYXY. Uh-oh, that's a gem on your Slark. Deafening Blast is there. He's got a 4-staff. Well, we'll see what else he can do. Yang now going to go after him with the Shadow Dance, and already the 4-staff has been used, and KYXY's got nothing left to stop the Slark chase him down with a BKB. 10-second BKB, though. It is a solo kill, and Slark does get a decent amount of golden XP. 480 gold, 1600 XP. So is basically a full level of experience almost out of that. Now in the mid lane, they get the RP. Just a Juggernaut, though. That's an illusion. Now he's going to get the Omni Slash off a Hayo. Hoping for some RNG that doesn't follow him, and with no mana, Juggernaut looking to be in a bit of trouble here. Gets the Healing Ward mana, though. Gets that up. Yang, not going to need to take out the Healing Ward, it looks like. So a 2-for-0 trade so far, and Dabe, standing on the high ground, does not have no closer to the Ag Scepter than he was 15 minutes ago, it feels like. He's had this Point Booster Ogre Club for quite some time. Well, into Roshan we go, and it's EHOME, the ones claiming it. Phoenix Sunray keeping everyone as healthy as possible, and see, looks like Mushi take the Aegis here. Terrorblade will scout out with the illusion. Here they come, though. GoDz. They want to fight this. They get Johnny out. The Manta Metamorph is online, and DDC has to back off. The Phoenix Egg is available, and with Fire Spirits, he dives into a black hole. Ling, there's nothing to cancel it. Yang is inside as well, but he BKBs, gets out of there. Down goes your Enigma, and Skewer onto the high ground. Johnny's trapped, but the 4-staff out from KYXY's Invoker is going to help his buddy out. Now a Hayo on the firing line. He's going to be brought down by Johnny, who's still got a Sunder as well. He's going to go try finish off Roshan. If someone comes to fight him, he's got the Sunder ready. Are they ready for it? It's the Slark who goes into the Sunder and brought down. GoDz are doing it. They're going to turn this fight around. Mushi's BKB, but he can't fight Johnny. Not in the Metamorph. Gets one more illusion up. He's going to send that chasing the Skywrath Mage away. You cannot fight this Metamorph illusion, and the rest of the team going to focus their efforts on Roshan. Roshan will be brought down, and Johnny on the Terrorblade will secure it. Fantastic fight from GoDz. It looked bad for the Terrorblade when he got stuck on the high ground, but the 4-staff was still available. If that was on cooldown, EHOME win that fight. With a 4-staff up, they bring him back down, they kill the Magnus, and then Slark made a big mistake. Thinking Terrorblade had no Sunder, he thought wrong. The fight gets turned around, and now we're going to start seeing some objectives taken by GoDz. It's the tier 2 bottom tower to start things off. Gets glyphed in. Here comes your Phoenix, as well as Magnus respawning soon, so do need to be a bit careful not to overextend or overstay their welcome. Mushi going to TP in, and, well, he's got Empower. Offers a lot of damage to this team. WWK needs to maybe consider just going for a TP out. 2-hero RP. The Skewer back as well. Mushi is there. Johnny going to die. He's got the Sunder off. No! It's Mushi dead! Oh, Fire Remnant's out, barely kept alive, only the Invoker dead. Somehow Mushi survives with that Fire Remnant. Johnny now, no Sunder available, Manta's out, he's going to try turn and fight. Mushi, 150 HP, has no Fire Remnants left, he's going to die to his own image! Oh, stop hitting yourself, Mushi, stop hitting yourself, says the reflection image, and Mushi, dead for 70 seconds, has no buyback. The tier 2 tower could be claimed here, but a bit worried about the Slark, who has respawned. What a fight. Mushi, it looked like he was dead, had like 50 HP, Fire Remnant out to his Remnant over in the neutrals, comes back in and dies though. Johnny making some big plays on the Terrorblade. These Sunder timings have been perfect. The Manta usage to get out of the silence there from the... He got out of the silence with a Manta, and then the reflection kills Mushi. And he gets himself a free bottle. It's the late game Terrorblade carry bottle. He's hoping for that DD rune. Would love a DD rune in a fight, but for now, it's just bounty runes, it's just regen runes, nothing that high impact, but he'll hold on to this one. I'd say you keep the bottle over the wand. Probably see him sell the wand, pick up... Actually, he's going to get rid of his TP now. Butterfly, Daedalus, what's the plan here? Goes for the Butterfly, going to amp up those illusion damage. Well, as things stand, it's GoDz. Johnny's Revenge, so far, has turned things around from like a 9,000 lead to about a 3,000 lead for EHOME, and momentum in GoDz's favor. They complete the Butterfly for Johnny. MKB, I feel like, has to be Mushi's next item for the Ember Spirit to deal with this evasion. Slark himself, he's going for the Abyssal Blade, and we'll have to see if he continues saving for the Relic or if he goes for an MKB himself when they see this Butterfly. There we go, Butterfly complete. Down the mid lane go these illusions, but I think GoDz will be looking to play things a bit slow now. They've got the blink on the Enigma, that's the other thing here. This blink, I feel like he did need it more than the BKB. He'll go back for the BKB, then he only has to worry about an RP. And hitting an RP on a black holing Enigma, not easy, especially depending how you place it. If you blink in and like black hole on top of yourself, it's really hard to get that blink RP on. If you blink an RP in front of you, then blink a black hole in front of you, then you can maybe RP from behind, but it's still, he can wait. He can wait for the RP and then go for the black hole. Similarly, there's now a Witch Doctor Aghanim's ultimate. There's a lot of big ultis on the GoDz side you have to worry about if you're EHOME. EHOME, it's been so far about the Slark pickoffs, and it's going to continue to be that way. They need to get the insta pickoffs in a fight. Terrorblade going to reveal the Slark here. He's got BKB. He's going to get silenced up. May need a BKB out of this one. The Omni Slash going to be disjointed by the Shadow Dance, and looks like they want to maybe chase down Yang, but he's back to full HP. ZYF Slark, it's been on point for most of this game, and definitely not a time for him to make his first major slip-up. Otherwise, you're looking at, well, lanes being pushed and Tier 2 towers falling. You don't want to be throwing around buybacks at this stage of the game. Still some time before the next Roshan. It looks like EHOME going to make their move towards the Dire jungle. Knowing roughly where GoDz were, that GoDz are near this bottom side of the map, they can kind of farm out the enemy jungle, push out the top lane. I don't think they go high ground here. Are they really that ballsy? This does not seem like the play, not when you're pushing into a well, no BKB for the Enigma. There's a Blink Black Hole and there's a Witch Doctor Ag's ultimate, but this just doesn't seem like the play, but we'll see how things go out for them. They're going to have the Terrorblade, Metamorph Illusions in the front lines, and just do as much damage as you can. It seems like if you're EHOME, you want to farm out your enemy jungle. Yeah, go back, push out the top lane, but there will be a Fire Element here, so EHOME can still stay and fight. They'll be looking for a pick-off if they can get it. Still big creep wave pushing, well, not really a big creep wave, but a creep wave pushing bottom lane. You just look at the map and you see a creep wave pushing up bottom lane, and then you also know you've got your entire jungle to farm as well, so it feels like if you're going to be farming efficient, work on your BKB for your Magnus, it may not be the time to go for a high ground push. We'll see if anyone does go towards that bottom lane. Radiant jungle not being farmed at all, but they do farm out the entire Dire jungle, so not much farm on the map for GoDz to take currently. Johnny's Terrorblade getting close to buyback. Buyback on Terrorblade, though, one of those things where if you die after using Metamorph and you buy back, you come back without Metamorph. So it's more if you get jumped and pick off, you want to save the Metamorph for when you buy back. These illusions just going out all over the place. Scouting, doing a bit of damage here. You right-click someone like a Skywrath Mage. He doesn't want to fight them. Yeah, he just loses like 200 HP in a couple right-clicks there. Looks like Mushi going to TP himself bottom. He does leave a Fire Room behind, and yeah, he's going to TP bottom, farm it up, and could come back. It's a bit of an awkward spot to have his Fire Room, though. I don't think he wants to be remnanting in there, so his team may, like, after they get zoned out by Terrorblade illusions, may be like, yeah, we're not fighting this top lane. Mushi can't really... I guess he could go for a backstab if they fought near the top lane, but looks like for now, the plan is to keep on farming. Mushi with 4k gold. See where he looks to go next with his items. MKB, as mentioned earlier, seems like the most likely possibility. Oh, it's the magic DD rune. Terrorblade knows it's there. It has been pinged out. The Witch Doctor says, yeah, that's there. That's happening. I guess they had a Dire Ward, which just expired, because, yeah, Witch Doctor did ping it out. So this is actually, it's not game-breaking, but it's huge. It's like an extra tier 4 item for a Terrorblade. It's worth just giving up farming the jungle to go grab this DD rune, because this could win you a team fight. Phoenix is there, though. Not going to be out. He's going to scout it out at least. That's one thing. Bottom lane, though. Mushi goes in. Wants WWK. The Juggernaut. Manta. No Omni Slash, though. And Ling is not finding much in return. Could go for a... Gets 4-star forward. Doesn't have Blink for a few seconds. Something stops him. The Black Hole's there. Not going to catch Mushi. Immediately cancelled. Ling in trouble. Does not have his BKB. The egg is there, and this is a full retreat. Ling tried to make a play happen. If he'd caught Mushi as well, it would have been amazing, but Mushi was not there, and they're going to lose Invoker now, too. The Slack Abyssal Blade, finding the pick off on the Jug, and then you transition into, well, a catastrophic sequence of events for G-Guard. They lose 3 and get very little to nothing in exchange. And Black Hole on cooldown. Got this farm Terrorblade, but ultimately, without a BKB, he can get out of, like, he can stay alive a bit better against some of the right-click damage of a Slark Ember Spirit, but if he gets silence after a Manta, there's a Mystic Flare, there's a lot of nuke damage. They now know which is the real Johnny. He's also used his Manta style. He's going to get RP'd. He's the target. He can buy back, but he's got no Metamorph. Witch Doctor doing a ton of damage with the Aghanim Scepter Ultimate will finally get disabled. Dave at the back lines. Going to be left alone for now. There's your buyback. They're going to smoke, take the gem, and back off. Skywrath Mage getting very low, almost did die. It was the Phoenix on the high ground who did end up dying. To the Witch Doctor Ultimate, and you can see the damage that Witch Doctor Ultimate did. DDC getting away on 100 HP. It was a big Witch Doctor Ultimate, but end of the day, he was doing it alone. There were 4 G-Guard heroes dead, and Witch Doctor's like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. See how much damage I can do. Gets 1 kill, and that's it. And for EHOME, they find themselves in a fantastic position here. Ahayo's BKB coming soon. If Slark wants an MKB to go with the Ember Spirits newly purchased one, he can maybe pick one up as well, but he's going to go Butterfly. I like this. Terrorblade not in a really state to go for an MKB. So he could go for an MKB to counter the Terrorblade's Butterfly, or he can go for a Butterfly and have the evasion against the Terrorblade. This is just... It's defensive at the same time. It does give him some damage as well. Because Terrorblade's not having MKB anytime soon. If he goes MKB, he's all in kind of a glass cannon. And if he gets hit in the black hole and focused down by like a metamorphing Terrorblade, he'll die very fast. So this is a less glass cannon option. Roshan being attempted here. Johnny gets off the Sunder. Onto the high ground here. Mushi in the middle of things gets 1 kill in the Enigma. They know there's no black hole. They're going to lose Mushi here. He's got no buyback, actually. Witch Doctor dies on the high ground. Slack finding him on the hill. I love this healing ward spot. This is one of those cheeky little plays you can do. I first saw MVP Phoenix, I think it was Reason, do it, where you just have this healing ward. You can't kill it in a team fight because it's on a cliff, and well, we'll hold that thought here as WWK battling out with Yang, looking for a bash. Not going to get it. The concussive shot also not really slowing him out. Will Omni Slash now, the Deafening Blast as well, but Jug going to die to the Phoenix Sunray of all spells. Terrorblade on the run, silenced up, won't take any damage during this. He doesn't have the Mad Cell as well. He's trying to hide, trying to TP. He gets RP'd! Ahayo gonna find the RP on there, but the Tornado's there as well. Skews him back. Johnny needs another Thunder. He's gonna get it! Yang on the Slark. He's got no escape for this one. He's taken heavy damage here. Johnny gonna go down to the Sunray though. They kill the Slark, but they lose Johnny. KYXY 140 HP. He's trying to heal up. Here comes the Arcane Bolt. He should be healthy enough. He's not! He's dead! Oh no! He had a... this one was on cooldown. He needed more Quas. He went like Wegs, Exort, then finally realized like, crap, I need Quas. I need heals. And he went too late back to that Quas. I think he was maybe like 10 HP short of that. I would love to know how much damage that did exactly. How much damage is this Skywrath doing with these Arcane Bolts? Sitting on 110 intel. And man, that was very close. That's what, 260 damage-ish? From the Arcane Bolt, minus the 70% reduction. I can't believe that killed him. I thought he had the HP. He was on 200 HP with that Arcane Bolt. He must have been like 2 HP short of surviving. That was so borderline. Into the Roche Pit we go. Inflame going to get himself another aggressive ward up. He gets scouted out. The Courier there, and they now know this. They should know this ward is up. Things going very dicey here for GoDz, but the kill on the Slark is the big one. It slows down the EHOME presence, makes it harder for them to go to this Roshan, and once Terrorblade's back alive, they can look to contest this. Hard to kill Roshan with just Mushi's Ember Spirit, as farmed as he is. Not exactly an easy proposition. I don't think they want to go for this. Shadowblade has been purchased by a hire, by the way, and I don't know if this... Okay, there's a gem on the Witch Doctor, but Dabe is often sitting back. He's got to... You need someone in the front lines in some ways, as far as having the gem and scouting out this Shadowblade initiation. It's also just... You blink in with an RP, you maybe need an escape. Saving the utility of the Force Staff. We've seen how important Force Staffs can be this game. That Force Staff onto the Terrorblade, onto the cliff, comes to mind. That one G-Guard the Roshan fight and got them back in this game. But as things stand right now, EHOME have pulled ahead once more, about a 14,000 gold lead. Enigma still working on a BKB, and this BKB for Enigma has got to come soon. There's now an Abyssal Blade for Slack. Well, there's been an Abyssal Blade for Slack for some time to help counter the BKB as well. And so we will see a D-Ward come out onto that Roshan cliff, and right now Radiant Vision very limited. Not much the supports can do. Do they even have wards back at base? Yeah, they could buy some more wards here. Team, please buy wards, says the chat wheel. As G-Guard, Terrorblade back at... Oh, no buyback. 2 minutes on cooldown, so... And they're going to have to be a bit more cautious because of that, and it looks like for now the two teams will both fall back, make sure they play things safe. Apart from Enigma, he's not worrying about buyback. This BKB could be a game changer. Alright. Ling gonna get whatever vision he can around the Roshan pit. Both teams with a gem, so you're gonna imagine before any team goes for Roshan, they'll use that gem to de-ward. Slack, that GPS tracker as well. He finds those wards with ease because of the Shadow Dance passive. We'll see where TB goes for his next item. If he wants to go Glass Cannon, he may consider an MKB to deal with the evasion of Slack, but at the same time, it feels like he maybe just needs HP. Or a BKB. This could be a BKB game. Getting out of his Searing Chains, a Skywrath Silence, the Phoenix slows, like, it's not ideal. Like, there's still Abyssal Blade, there's still RP, but we'll see what he decides for. Sunstrike comes through, scouts out immediately, the Roshan going down. And they're going to see a Hio's item. I think they would have scouted out the Shadow Blade by now. He's had it for some time, and they should be wary of this, as the gem, it looks like, has been passed on to the Invoker. Yeah, so they give it to someone who's much more of a frontliner, who's more likely to scout out a Hio, or even go gank him. If KOXY goes ganking and the Magnus Shadow Blade's away, it's a huge loss. And that's where having it on the Witch Doctor seems like a bad idea. This Jug still struggling this game. 3 and 11. His itemization is... At this point, he comes down to the Healing Ward. And taking as many spells as he can. If he tanks up like an Ancient Seal, even a Concussive Shot, these kind of things, and can just dodge him with a Blade Fury or get out of it with a Manta Style, that's going to help out his team in the long run. The big issue is G-Guard are much more like... They're walking on a tightrope here. Like a small mistake here, a missed Black Hole, you lose a Rax. A pick-off on your Terrorblade when he doesn't... or force out a Metamorph and he dies and has to buy back, you maybe lose a Rax. For EHOME, so much room for error. They've got buybacks on key heroes. Ember Spirit and Slack both with buyback. Magnus close to buyback. He's just short 80 gold. So... You're going to have buyback, and not to mention room for error, because you're pushing out the lanes. If you die, you probably don't even have to buy back. If someone like Mushi somehow gets picked off by a gank or a black hole or whatever it may be, he doesn't need to buy back. He just chills. He just sits back. But if G-Guard, if they die, you almost guarantee either a buyback's going to be forced or some kind of ultimate's going to be used. Johnny now, there's an RP. They're going to try chain stun him down. The good news is he didn't Metamorph. Bad news is BKB was used by Ling, and Black Hole can't be found. Slack's going to try force something out of him. Enigma's dead without buyback, and here comes the KYXY in trouble. Deafening Blast is there, but Yang still chasing. The disarm is not going to be enough as Ember Spirit comes through, gets KYXY's head, and he's short 5 gold. He'll have it in a second. So he'll have buyback, as does the Terrorblade, and you can guarantee they're going to be forced out. Not to mention EHOME, they'll force out these buybacks and have buybacks of their own. So Mushi can play aggressive, leave a Fire Remnant down. If he dies, Fire Remnant right back in. Terrorblade going to buy back. Invoker should be soon to follow. Has the money for it just now, and otherwise you're losing racks. The problem is they really want/need this Enigma Black Hole. Without the Black Hole from Enigma, winning this fight looks very tricky to do. Johnny Croak by Searing Chains, and he's going to be worried. A Blink Abyssal Blade from the Slack is up in 3 seconds time, and that was what they needed last time. Okay, Mushi. Okay. Gets the Juggernaut, almost gets the Ember Spirit. Those crits! Whew! With the Empower Battle Fury Daedalus. He's just tearing people apart, and there's your dead Terrorblade. There's your GG. The Blink Abyssal Blade comes back up. ZYF on this Slark is just beast moding. ZYF, his Slark is almost looking like a must-ban hero now after this game 1 performance. EHOME, they take game 1 in what was a fun and exciting game. Some big team fights around the Roshan pit, and well, an absolutely fantastic way to kick off this series. That's just game 1 of a 2-game series. EHOME continue their undefeated streak. They are 7-0 in the Asia qualifiers for the Dota 2 Asia Championships. GoDz, they're now 2-3. They need some wins. It is still just day 2 of 6, but at this point you don't want to be going too much into the red. You don't want too many losses. If you get too negative, well, suddenly, I mean, chances of qualifying in the top 4 or even the top 6 in the wildcard matches gets less and less likely. Not to mention, you start losing momentum. You start getting demoralized. So for GoDz, I feel game 2. Sure, you're versing EHOME, who's currently top of the tables, but you got to do all you can. Find the pocket strat, find something to work, and see if you can beat EHOME. But right now, EHOME are looking very unbeatable. So guys, we're going to see what happens in game 2. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up after this.